Hey, Dan Fitzpatrick here, and I've been following Tesla all the way up, and so I think it's only right to declare victory or at least sidestep defeat. So let's just get to this. Now, something that I learned a long time ago was if you're looking at Bollinger Bands, there's this thing called the fish hook. How do I know it's called that? Because I'm the one that made it up. When I was working with John Bollinger about 20 years ago, just shortly after his excellent book Bollinger on Bollinger Bands came out, I was mentioning this to John, and I think he'd kind of said, hey, if the bands kind of peak and start coming together, this is what it means and all that. And anyway, so I said at one point, I look at it as a fish hook. These Bollinger Bands are squeezing and then they start expanding as volatility, it goes like one way. It starts expanding so far away from this 20-day moving average that these bands are really, really wide. And the reason they get really, really wide is because they reflect standard deviation, and standard deviation here, two standard deviations above and below where the stock is, they have to be equal. So if a stock is 5% or 15% above the 20-day moving average, it's going to put the Bollinger Band wherever it does, the upper band, and the lower band is going to be kind of the mirror image of it. And so I just said, it just kind of looks like a fish hook to me. And John kind of looked at me, and he doesn't say much, but when he does talk, you really got to listen. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever met. He just kind of looked at me and went, huh. And that was the end of that. Okay. But I still call it a fish hook. And what this typically reflects is when it's on very, very wide Bollinger Bands, what it reflects is that there's going to be a pause or even a downright reversal in the trend. So here, it's all good. Then when you see this, that's the first indication that maybe there's a little trouble in River City. Second day up, even though the stock's closed back up above 1200, still kind of hooking up a little bit and a little more and a little more. And so this is a good indication that this stock is, the momentum is starting to get tired. Not that it's going to reverse or anything, but it's just starting to get tired. Okay, and then definitely this following day, which was the 8th yesterday, we see a continued fish hook. And then, there's all this news about the flying monkeys on Twitter agreeing with Musk that he should sell 10% of his stock or something stupid like that. And that's all just a pretext for something that he wanted to do anyway. Why would anybody on Twitter say, no, Elon, hold your stock, get even richer, we love you? People are going to say, sure, sell it for whatever the reason. Curing world hunger, satisfying some debt, that you incurred when you took and used all your stock for collateral. Whatever, it's all good. But this one news item, boom, does this. And so I would say it's partly news item and just partly technical. I mean, this stock was way overextended, and so it had already been on the decline, and so all it took was this one little stupid news blurb, and that was the end of that. And so my point is, whether or not Elron sells his shares, this is now a broken stock. I don't think this is the ultimate high. I think it ultimately goes higher. But this was a big move, 50% or so, okay, in this. And so now that the stock has peaked and is falling, what we're really going to need to see happen is some type of consolidation, and maybe it'll be there, maybe it'll be down here or down here. it could fall back this low, and there would be nothing wrong with the uptrend. You know, it hits the 50, 50's going up that way. The stock rebounds and starts moving again. So you can't look at this and say, this is the end, turn out the lights, the party's over, you got to get out of Tesla. If you're trading, abso-damn-lutely, you need to be out of Tesla. You needed to be out of Tesla. But if you're an investor, you know, frankly, you're looking at this as an opportunity to maybe buy some more. You know, you see this in a phase 1, 2, 3 format, the squeeze here. Phase 1 is the extension. Phase 2 is the pullback. And then what we want to see ultimately is a phase 3 move higher. We've seen this gazillions of times before. And so this is what we need to see in Tesla. The company's actually got, I'm kind of grimacing when I say this, the company's actually got pretty good fundamentals, and I would say, you know, relative to what they used to be, really good fundamentals. And you know, you can look at that growth story and also see all the cash that they have on hand and say, well, this company now has a pretty big war chest to do what it wants to do. So I actually like the company. I like the stock. I like the long-term prospects, but I also like to know the fact that this is a weak stock. The bloom has come off the rose right now, and if you're long, you're wrong. You got balls, that's for sure, but you're wrong to be long, okay? Enough said, at least here. Members, I got a lot more to say about this in tonight's strategy session.